What's up, all you beautiful people? Welcome to another video. I want to share with you 3 tactical pieces of advice that you can apply regardless of where your business is right now, whether it's doing $10,000 a month, $100,000, or $1 million a month. These 3 ideas will serve you well. And I know that because as I was sitting here today, kind of like, scratching my head and saying like, what are the 3 ideas that I could share with you that would have the biggest impact on you? I simply went back to like, in the private coaching that I've done in the last couple weeks, what have I been saying? What's come up the most frequently? And so instead of having to pay me tons of money for that advice, I'm just going to give it to you guys right here so you can take it, you can run with it, make a lot more money. So let's get to it. Number 1, you need to reduce friction for your customers. You need to make it as easy as possible for them to do whatever the thing is that you want them to do. Now, a lot of times we talk about this in the context of like the checkout. Like, how do you make it really easy for people to give you money? That sounds really obvious. However, when I do new client onboardings, we do an audit, I go through their funnel and I look around. One of the most obvious, like recurring things is that people make it more complicated than it needs to be to figure out like how do I do business with you? So like if I find you on Instagram right now, how do I pay you? Like what's the funnel that I need to go through to get into your ecosystem, to land on a landing page and to give you my credit card information? Now, like if you don't have a link in the bio of your Instagram page that doesn't go directly to your website, that then has, the product right there that I can go buy, then it's already convoluted. Maybe your Instagram sends me to YouTube, and when I go to YouTube, do I go to the description, and does the description have a link to a landing page? Like, how do I pay you? Now, there's probably some place in your funnel that you've taken for granted that you think it's really obvious, but I'm telling you, as an idiot off the street, when I go and I look at your guys' funnels, you do not make it easy for me to give you money. You actually make it incredibly difficult. Not only that, but let's take this, and this isn't just you, by the way. Let me give you a perfect example of this. The other day, Stephen Bartlett launched a podcast analytics tool. I think it's like a podcast directory. So like you put in your podcast, they're going to launch it out to all the different, Apple to Spotify to YouTube, all this stuff. And they're going to have this robust analytics, all this stuff. And I was like, cool. I like Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO. He's great. I love him. He's probably makes great products, right? Let me go check this out. So I go to the website and it's literally, there's no information about the thing. Like there's no information. It's like, they show you some screenshots. It looks really snazzy and cool. And I'm like, neat. It's like, how much is this? No pricing, nothing. The only way to get information is to sign up and log in. So I'm like, okay. So I start logging in. I just create an account and I'm like going through it and they're asking me my name and the business, how many employees I got, all that stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. It feels like I'm onboarding right now when I'm just trying to get more information to make a decision, right? But I'm freaking in the process. So I'm like, I keep going with it. And it's only when I get to the very end of this process that finally I'm in their back end and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I have a free trial account now. Like, so like, where's the price? Like, how do I pay for this? Like, what am I paying for? I had to go digging. I had to go looking for it. And then eventually I was like, oh, saw the price point. And I was like, this could have saved me 15 minutes because if I had seen this price point before, I just would have said no. I'd have been done, right? So like they put so much friction in there that it just put a really bad taste in my mouth, honestly, because now I'm not going to go back. Like they made me jump through all the hoops and give them my personal information, which I'm not psyched about them having, because now I know that they're going to email me and follow up with me, despite the fact that I now know I'm probably not going to do business, right? So like they've created so much friction when if they had just led with all of this on the landing page really transparently, I'd have been like, yeah, you know what? That's not a product for us right now. That's not what I'm looking for. Cool. I'm psyched that you guys are out there. I'll recommend you to other people this might be a fit for. But it was just like this weird sales tactic to get you in the funnel. And then, I don't know, like you feel like you're stuck then and therefore you're going to pay. I don't know. But this happens very frequently. And so I want you to just be aware, like at all points of your funnel, I want you to go audit it. And audit it with the perspective that you are a complete newbie. Maybe just have like your friend, your sister or somebody go through the funnel and just pay attention to where they click and where they get lost. I'm promising you, you're going to find really quickly that they get lost more frequently and sooner than you even realize. And that is probably costing you a ton of money. Number 2, the second idea is simply to prune relentlessly. So I love the analogy of pruning. You think about a plant, a tree, let's say. I want this tree in my backyard to grow and bear this amazing fruit. Well, a tree doesn't care about growing in a particular way and looking a particular way or bearing a certain amount of fruit. It doesn't really care about that. The tree, its only goal is to react to the environment in a way that's going to increase its long-term probability of survival. So your tree is going to grow in all sorts of random ass ways. It's like, oh, there's another tree blocking my shade, so I'm going to kind of grow over to the left, and now you got a tree with a kink in it. Or over there is some more rain, and so I need my branches to go at a 90-degree angle out from the base of me to get more water, right? So you start to get this tree that's growing in all sorts of organic and wild, crazy ways that's not in alignment with how you want the tree to look. So what do? We go and we prune. We cut off those limbs, we cut off those branches so that the tree isn't diverting precious resources and energy towards extraneous limbs. Now what happens? Well, if the tree doesn't have to worry about growing all these weird ass limbs out to the side, now it can focus on growing the trunk. It can grow taller. It can focus on the fruit that it's bearing, right? So we prune trees and plants so that they can remain healthy and growing in a way that's conducive with the end state that we have for them. It's the same with your business and your life. There are things that you are reacting to that are causing you just to grow in this organic way and sprout off all these limbs that are sucking time and energy away from you, and it's not going towards the core trunk of your tree of life, and as a result, you are dissipating energy. Okay, so here's just 3 areas within a business that I think you want to be constantly pruning. People is your biggest expense in any business is largely going to be walking around on 2 legs. It's the people around you. So it's really common to think that we solve problems within our business by just throwing more people at it. Right? That's what your team is going to ask for. Hey, we're overworked, we're understaffed, so we need more people, right? That's the answer everybody always comes to, is we need more people. But more people does not always equal more results. In fact, a leaner team is often capable of doing far, far more than a big bloated team. And that's because communication, as the team increases, gets more and more complicated. So organizing a team of 7 people is significantly more difficult than organizing a team of 3. Okay, so all that extra time that goes into trying to organize a bigger team, in a lot of cases, could just be spent organizing the smaller team and deploying their energies more appropriately. Now, that's one way, not too many people. We want to reduce the quantity of people on the team, right? The second way is to prune the quality of the people. Get rid of the C players and the B players, the things that are dragging you down and holding the team back. Only surround yourself with the A players. Your team is going to grow more quickly as a result. Not the team, but the business, because growing the team isn't the end goal. Okay, so that's number 1. Prune the people. Prune the products next. So you probably already have too many products on your menu. You just don't even realize it. And you run into this when you start to like pitch it to people and you're like, oh, we can help you in this way or this way or this way or this way or this way. And we do this because we think by having more selection that we're more likely to help people where they're at. I don't know, maybe you need this service, maybe you need that service. And so if I just offer all the services, I have a better chance. What you end up with is a restaurant that serves burgers, lasagna, tacos, sushi. And it's like, by trying to serve everybody, you serve nobody. You have so much complexity in the kitchen, first of all. Like, it's a madhouse back there. Second of all, if I'm thinking about where I want to go to dinner tonight, I'm not thinking, oh, let's go someplace where they serve something for everybody. I'm thinking, what am I in the mood for? Am I in the mood for sushi? I'm going to go find the best sushi place. Am I in the mood for a taco? I'm going to go find the best taco place, right? So you're trying to speak to everybody, and in the process, you're making it more complicated than it needs to be, and you are speaking to nobody as a result. So prune products. I recommend for most businesses that you really only have one core product, especially if you're like a service-based business, one core product, one upsell, and maybe one entry-level product, depending on if you're doing $1 to $3 million a year. If you're not, like, don't even worry about that right now. Get your one core offer, get to $1 million a year, and then worry about adding on the complexity. The third thing to prune are your promotions. So like the different marketing campaigns and different initiatives that you have going. Simple is better. Just keep pounding the same drum over and over and over. You don't need to have a new reason, a new sale, a new whatever. Like, just keep pounding the same drum over and over and over again, and you will do far, far better. So reduce friction, prune relentlessly. The third idea here is to simply make the ask. Make the ask. It's like, we often think that we're being very clear with our prospects, especially if you're in a sales environment where like, oh, I presented you the product, it solves all your solutions. And then you get to the point where you think you've asked them, would you like to buy the product? And they're like, I need a little bit more time to think. And then in hindsight, you realize, oh, I don't think I actually asked point blank, should we move forward? Would you like to get started? Right? Like, there's a big difference between just being like, so what do you think? That's not an ask. That's not an ask. So what do you think? So does it sound good? Does it sound like this would be something that could help you? That is not an ask. And yet that's probably your pitch, right? That's probably where you end. So like, what do you think? Do you think we should move forward? It's not, what do you think? It's, are you ready to move forward? It's a subtle difference. But I was reminded of this because literally one of our one-on-one clients, he came back to us last week and he's like, yeah, she jumped in. And I was like, why? He's like, I realized I don't think I had asked her before. Like, I just don't think I'd point blank asked. And I was like, yep, that'll do it. So it's like simple. But it's surprising how often we miss this. Now, if you have people on your team that are handling sales and have a sales team that you're coordinating, right? Review their sales calls with them. If they're not closing at the rate that you'd like them to be, watch back to their sales calls. I'm guessing they are dropping the ball somewhere. And a very easy place to notice that they're dropping the ball is they're not making the ask. Or the reverse is they're making the ask way too soon, like a weirdo, just rolling up to that hottie at the bar and being like, so you want to go home? And it's like, fucking weird. Don't do that. Like, so on both sides, you gotta have the balls to close the deal and make the ask, but don't do it too soon. You freaking weirdos. So those are 3 lessons that will help you regardless of your business size, help you make more money, reduce friction, prune relentlessly, make the ask, do those 3 things. It will help you. I promise. And that's going to do it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.